Malhotra, sir. Sir is Director and Head of Analytics, Asia, Middle East, North Africa for PepsiCo India. Previously, Sir has been General Manager Digital for Accenture India and AVP Analytics for Genpact India. Sir brings with him more than 18 years of experience in progressive leadership in business analytics, strategy and planning, operations, and go to market, specifically in functional domains of insights, marketing, sales, pricing, and supply chain. In his current capacity, Sir drives analytics agenda for PepsiCo AMNA, accelerating the foundational analytics capabilities to better support business decisions, planning, optimization, and to drive transformational initiatives aimed at future-proofing PepsiCo in the areas of business and consumer 360, IoT, ML, AI. Kapil sir also works closely with other functions, global extended teams, and partners ecosystem to deliver results. Prior to PepsiCo, Kapil sir has been associated with Accenture, where he has been leading digital campaign analytics for Google, driving hyper targeting amongst SMB customers on big data platform. Sir, in his tenure at Genpact, was leading analytics project delivery, focusing on client business impact and driving operating efficiencies for key US-based clients, applying advanced analytics tools and techniques. Kapil sir has also done other diverse roles in Genpact, which include new practice strategy and production innovation, as well as global marketing and sales support. In early part of his career, Sir worked with MarketRx, where he was leading analytics product marketing, and before that with Blue Star Infotech and Daewoo Motors. Kapil Sir considers himself a business leader and analytics practitioner who uses his overall expertise and rich experience in multiple environments to positively impact business outcomes. Kapil Sir is a postgraduate from NITI Mumbai and industrial engineer from DCE Delhi. Kapil Sir is also a project and process management expert and is Lean Six Sigma certified. Without further delay, now I would request Kapil sir to please begin his deliberation. Kapil sir.
Hey, thank you, Viresh, for such kind and yeah, you could have kept it short, but kind introduction. First of all, I do want to thank Professor and Dr. Dinesh. I think he did a tremendous job before me, setting the stage for the next 2 hours and now 1.5. He essentially covered a complete crash course in analytics and AI. So I think the audience would have benefited a lot. I think I had planned to do it a little differently, and given also the paucity of time, I would believe, I do want to do justice to the other esteemed speakers after me. Would like to keep it short, say around 10 minutes rather than 15. I hope that would really help manage this better. But welcome you all. Hope you're all staying safe and healthy. We are in trying times, I know that, and but let's jump in. Okay, so I would like to take lead from where Dr. Dinesh left, and he was talking about marketing analytics, right? So what I would like to do is tell you a few bits about marketing analytics and even say sales analytics, and some of the applications and what goes in and what's most important in there, and talk about in my own perspective of where digitalization is taking us, right? So now it's all forced upon. The way digital transformation journey is shaping up because of COVID is unprecedented. So that's one. And where do we go from here? Which industries benefit in the short term, long term, and how we need to orient ourselves. And the third piece is, yes, what's important that you are still studying, right? So if you're still studying or early part of you just studied or done a course, how should you evaluate your career if you're really keen on and imbibe certain skill set, if you're really keen on making your career ahead in AI, analytics, data science, right? So a lot to cover. First of all, sales and marketing analytics. Okay, let's understand that. Okay, so every piece of analytics, you heard from a lot of case studies or use cases that got shared by Professor Dinesh is is the business first, right? So you're trying to solve a business problem. Okay, at the end of the day, business wants to do more with less, right? This was true in the past, this is true in the present, and will always stay true going forward. Okay, which means analytics has to really impact two things essentially. And it's about either bringing more growth opportunities for the business, and or optimizing the resources that go into bringing those or making those efforts, right? So let's talk of marketing. Marketing is the function which actually is a spend function for the organization, and marketing role is twofold essentially. Okay, so it's about creating awareness about the product or solutions that the company has to offer, and it's about creating the demand, okay, or generating the demand for those products and solutions. So the marketing has to impact both, and where analytics then comes in, or marketing analytics that comes in, is to drive that agenda harder. Okay, so at the just envisage what marketing analytics does is more from wherever the actions of marketing analytics touches the customers or the consumers, or the actions which really help make back-end decisions or optimization decisions for the organization. Okay, so your the campaign that you receive, for example, for any from any either an e-commerce company or any company that is offering or running a marketing campaign, is and how effective that is in terms of whether that's the right intended audience, and is one example of where it touches the customers, right? So all campaign analytics pieces, for example, and prior to that, the segmentation and targeting pieces that get done, uh, deploy analytics big time. Okay, the key metrics there, again staying with that example, is cost to conversion. You just learned that, right, from my earlier esteemed speaker. And the conversion rate, those are certain KPIs which get measured. So those are the KPIs, but that's where a right campaign is reaching you, right? So that you're as a consumer or customer, you can relate to, there is a need for it, and then you go ahead and take an action basis that. So that's an example where it's touching the customer and consumer. The second example, the quick one, more from a background, is where the resource allocation happens across the various marketing levers, right? So marketing, there's a ATL, there is or above the line and below the line, and there are a lot of spends that the organization makes and a lot of actions that the organization do around the product. Essentially all around the 4 Ps of marketing that we have studied, right? So which is about the product, pricing, promotion, and the place, right? So essentially I'm talking about all the drivers of pricing, all the drivers of the product itself, all the trade spends that go into the market, the fixed and variable components, all the marketing spends that go into the market, go to the market development, which is, it could be sponsorships, it could be advertising, it could be campaigns on the web, etc., etc. It could be celebrity endorsements and end fees for the same, or sponsorships with specific programs or sporting events, etc. Right? So those are all the marketing spends. And then the other factors which you would believe are some of the macro factors playing the GDP, inflation. One variation could be pricing with respect to inflation and things like that, right? So there are a lot of internal drivers of the business, and there are some external drivers of the business. Obviously, there is also competition activity, right? So and hence you're talking of multiple data sources that need to be brought together for something which is done as foundational analytics for the CPG companies is the market mix modeling, right? So this is the second example I wanted to give, which sits at the back end, right? So basis you run this multi-regression model and also do a lot of sub models on price elasticities, media deep dives, etc., which would truly impact the planning decisions of the organization, because these are huge spends that the organization is planning to make. So, and how to best allocate those monies across the various sales and marketing levers, or some of the actions that the organization plans to make, right? So this provides a very quantified impact of the drivers in terms of simulations. Those are run on top of the models, and can even be aggregated across various products and brands to kind of make the portfolio decisions for the senior leaders. Okay, so that's a big example at the backend where analytics is deployed heavily. Obviously, the other examples are like the whole category forecasting, right? You can use various models. Time series is dead, right? So nobody uses time series these days, except for very stable categories. But a lot of causal models are built, and it's important to keep them refreshed with the latest data, so that they are usable for every stage of the tactical or planning decision making of the organization, right? So that's the piece at the back end. Obviously, front end, there are multiple things. Customer churn is another one, and the whole customer loyalty, the CRM piece, and the analytics behind is a big one, right? So the front end is the entire attracting the customer, growing the customer, and retaining the customer, right? So that's the front end of marketing, and the various marketing analytics interventions which get done. The AI is being deployed now big time in some of those areas. And then the whole backend, right? So that covers up in summary for you the marketing analytics piece. Obviously, the core, I mean, goes without saying that the actual measurement, the true measurement of the KPIs or the marketing metrics that matter, right? So for example, marketing spend as a percentage of net revenue is the master KPI, right? But there are multiple KPIs across the value chain or various interventions which become relevant, right? So for one organization, a market share could be a very relevant KPI. And what are the drivers of the market share? Understanding those better and analytically taking actions is what a marketing analytics team would typically do, right, for the organization. And it's been a journey. So just to take a step back, so that covers in summary the marketing analytics. Obviously, it has in its adjacency the business analytics piece as well as the sales analytics. So together, I mean, more and more the industry is now calling it commercial analytics, right? So that's one piece. Obviously, the progress of the analytics in its application has to do a lot, again, something which my earlier speaker said, has to do with with a lot of data availability, right? So, and more data is being made available because of digitization, right? So, but traditionally, as you would know, banking, finance, insurance, telecom, they have been the early adopters because they had a lot of data, right? Internal data, and they had to really optimize and make use of that data for such purposes. For CPG has been, you can say, the second lot and things like that. But a lot of these digital companies that have come in, I mean, all the e-commerce companies or the platforms which are e-education and whatever, they are actually, the analytics is core to them. Okay, I mean, what recommendations you get on, say, Netflix, or the recommendations you get that someone has you bought something in the past, or even reviewed something in the past, etc. But basis that, the recommendation engines, which deploy a lot of algorithms, decide what do you get on the screen as next movie to watch from that bucket, or which products to buy, right? So that's really been the journey, and CPG, the industrial manufacturing engineering firms, etc., are on that journey to bring in more digital transformation in their organizations, right? So I think overall, going back, overall scheme of things and the way we are moving as a world, as business, is towards digitization, because there is no second to that. I mean, it's all forced upon us now, and but it will still be a slow burn, right? So I know certain organizations are jumping into what to do now, and etc., etc., but unless you have the core data assets in place, okay, and you're able to bring in all the right sources of data that are needed to make a decision, okay, and I'm talking about this last tier of companies that have to move up. Analytics won't be able to help much, right? Because analytics thrives on data, right? So that's about it. I would now, while I take questions and some of the quick questions towards the end, sorry, I was still running, but the last thing is, there is no second to understanding the business context, right? So in any application of data, or whichever problem you're solving, it's important that you understand that business piece at least well, right? So that business context and a better business understanding would only come in very helpful. Second is understanding the source of the data, okay? So you might be, for example, using certain survey data, CRM data, or even transactional data, right? So where just understanding where is the data coming from and how it is captured, that makes a lot of difference, and when it was captured, right? So that can provide a lot of insights, right? So the way I challenge my teams, and one session that I certainly do in all analytics projects, is I call it show me the data, okay? So when I say show me the data, I'm very clear on all the descriptive statistics, the base hygiene of what that data is all about, right? And many other things that I get to look at before even we get into starting the modeling process, so as to say, right? So, and then the business piece is also tied to the business language, right? So basis analytics, how can you, and this will not on the first day of your career that will be needed, but I think going forward, as you mature as an analytics professional, that would be needed a lot more, that you are able to connect every solution that you're trying to solve with a good understanding of the business. And thereafter, the last piece is only connected to the industry 4.0. You saw a heavy usage of technology now coming in, right? So IoT, etc. I mean, you name it. More analytics is being tech driven now, okay, versus making a model, refreshing it every year, or some of the statistics that used to be deployed, etc. So I think my guidance is evaluate your own strengths. I mean, what's needed to make a successful career in AI. Stay connected, learn as much, because this is the right stage to learn. This is all to budding students and everyone else. Stay connected on how which industries are going where, what are the current applications to future applications. And I would love to get back to some part in my career, go back to academy and to learn again, right? Because I've started finding myself a little obsolete in certain areas, right? So because in business, you're only doing certain things and you're bound to do, and that keeps you occupied all the time. So that's about it. I mean, I'm happy to, I don't know whether I've taken more time, but Viresh, if I'm happy to answer questions now. So
Thank you so much, sir.